Today's episode is part 3 of an SEO series, and we are talking all about the point of SEO, because really, what is the point? Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. As always, before we get started, I need to talk about Up in My Business's sponsor, Jane. Jane is an all-in-one practice management software with features like online booking, scheduling, documentation, and a PCI-compliant payment solution. The time that you spend with your patients and clients is valuable, and filling out forms during their appointment can quickly take away time from your session, which we all know how that feels. That's why the team at Jane has designed online intake forms that your patients can complete from the comfort of their own homes before they come to their session. And it also helps them remember to fill out their forms. Jane will have email reminders that are sent to the patient automatically before their appointment. This means that they arrive ready to start their appointment, and you can arrive ready to help. There's nothing better than when a patient comes in and all their intake paperwork is complete. I mean, if you are a treating clinician, you know exactly what I mean. Jane's online intake forms are fully customizable to ensure you're collecting everything you need ahead of time, whether that's a credit card on file, that is key, insurance billing details, or signed consent. You can build your intake forms from scratch or use a template from Jane's template library, which is amazing, by the way, and customize it further to meet your practice needs. If you're interested in learning more, head to jane.app/guide, or you can use the code LEX1MO at sign up to receive a 1-month grace period on your new account. Again, that's LEX1MO at checkout. Alrighty, friends, welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I'm super excited to talk about SEO today and why you should care about SEO. So if you have been watching me on Instagram, I've been talking a lot more about SEO. If you have been following the podcast, you know that SEO school is opening up next week. So next Monday, October 23rd, and it's opening for registration to the waitlist only. So the waitlist will get $100 off registration, as well as the chance to have 2 specific bonuses. One is to learn YouTube SEO with Doc Joe O, and the other bonus is my Canva workshop. So if you are on the wait list, and there might be one more secret bonus, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet. So I think I haven't really nailed down the details, so stay tuned. But if you are not currently on the wait list and you're interested in SEO school, I highly recommend joining the wait list now, because that's how you're going to get access to these bonuses, but also save $100. So that link will be in the show notes. Feel free to click that, get on the list, and you'll be notified about all things SEO school. And if you're on my regular mailing list, the registration for the full list will open the following week. So yes, you will still receive information, but if you're not on the wait list, you're not going to be able to save money, and you also won't have access to the bonuses that I will be having. So with that being said, that's my business announcement. So we're starting with business stuff, and then we'll go into a tiny little bit of life, and then we will jump right in. So if you have been following along, you know that Shantae and I are also opening up our Lextromind tomorrow. And that is a closed launch, if you will. So we are only sending out the application to apply to the people who are on the wait list. So if you have not joined, if you go to the show notes, I will have the link there. But if you have not been on the wait list, then you will not get the information for the Lextromind. So if you're interested, click the link, sign up. You probably will not get tomorrow's email when we open it up, but I will have it in there tomorrow just in case you hear this and want to join. But then after that, that wait list will be closed. So that is one more thing for the Lextromind. And secondly, we already talked about SEO school, and that is the biggest thing going on for my business. SEO school is my hybrid, if you will, program where you are doing pre-recorded classes or courses, lectures, and then also having live support. So if you are unfamiliar with the way that I run SEO school, The actual lessons are all pre-recorded because it just makes more sense to do it that way as far as learning times. And I love that people can go back and forth and actually rewatch things as they do it. And then I have monthly calls at the end of the month where you essentially get coaching. So I designed it that way because I found that most people are fine with actually learning the material. And then when they go to implement, they need help. So for 6 months, which is a lot longer than I used to do, I found that 6 months is like a sweet spot where you can get started and learn and then also start to do more advanced things toward the end. So that is the level of support you get with SEO school. Now, regardless of how many people sign up, I have found that a ton of people don't always come to the live calls. So it ends up being very personalized support. And most people have the same problems. So once we go through, one issue with someone else learns, etc. So it's been really, really good that way. And I love running it that way. And I will, though, anticipate that, or I will essentially run it in a way in which I won't take more than 50 people because I know that I cannot handle more than that on a Zoom Q&A call. I just want it to be personalized. And if every single person shows up, I want to make sure that I can cater to everyone without being there for 5 hours. So yes, you do get personalized support in SEO school, even though it is a hybrid program and you're learning things with pre-recorded lectures. So it's so fun to run the Q&A calls because I just find them to be essentially a game changer because people are able to ask tech questions, they're able to ask strategy questions, they're able to get specific things for their website, and it just makes it so easy to implement long term because they learn how to do everything through the pre-recorded lectures and then also on the Q&A calls with me demoing it and all the things, and then they can implement on their own. So I love it. So SEO school, it is open for registration and next Monday to the waitlist only. And then the following week, it will open to the public. And yeah, so if you're not on the waitlist, I highly recommend getting on the waitlist. If you are following me on Instagram, I'm definitely going to be posting a lot about SEO this week. So if you're interested or think you may be interested, make sure you get on the waitlist. Personal stuff, I am just going to say that there are not a ton of updates again, just because everything is just flowing, I said last week, I'm super grateful for a routine, a consistent routine, and it just feels like that overall right now. And just really, really enjoying it. Life and business are just really busy right now. So finding, a lot more time for work. I will say that I had the pleasure of being a guest speaker on a panel, and it was through Jane. And one of the things that we talked a lot about was the management of our life and business and how we're able to maintain a balance. And we all the panelists, which if you have not tried, I'm going to see if I can send an email out with the recording. I'm waiting to see if we're going to get the recording. But anyway, so when I get that, I will try to send it out to you if I get it. We weren't sure if there was a recording available or not. But anyway, one of the things that I just want to relay is that the panelists, all three of us were like, you need to maintain work-life balance. And how do you do that? And all of us basically said, we are very strict with our schedule. We're strict with the times we work. We're strict with the times we have fun, and we schedule our fun into our life, and we schedule work around that. And it's just been really, really good because that's the approach that I've been taking, since I've moved to California for sure, but also since the beginning of 2023 in general. I changed my schedule. I have very specific working hours, and I don't go outside of that. I actually made the mistake of moving outside of those working hours last week to accommodate someone, and I ended up being really thrown off, and it will not be it's not something I ever really do. And I decided to do it. And I was like, man, I really wish I didn't do that. And it's not because I don't want to work with someone. It's not because I don't want to, see someone on Zoom or whatever it may be, but it is something that, it's a boundary that I have set so that I can maintain a good energy, right? And show up in a way that feels good for me every single day. So that was something that was discussed on that panel. And I wanted to relay that because it's so important. So if you're someone who has not set really good boundaries as far as when you work, when you don't work, when you take live calls, however it may be, do that. It can make a huge difference in your business. So with that being said, let's jump in. I am going to make this really quick because I have found I've gotten some feedback on these episodes of being quick and people really like it. So I wanted to do just a why should you care about SEO episode, and I'll make it really, really easy to understand here because I'm not trying to dive into tech and concepts and, all the deep dive stuff. I'm just going to give you a general, this is why you should care about SEO. And if you decide that this is something that you want to dive into, the SEO school is opening. So that's why I did this whole series in the first place. And I want to keep it super digestible. So let's jump in. Why should you care about SEO? The number one thing that I have to relay is that it is free. So it costs $0. Now, I understand that time is money. So if you're someone who, sees patients or is coaching people, whatever that looks like to you, yes, that takes time, but it does not mean that you need to actually fork out money. So this is the difference when it's Google ads or Instagram ads or Facebook ads versus SEO. SEO is completely free. So that is a huge difference. It's a huge benefit. So it's a free marketing solution. The other thing that I want to point out is that not many people do it. And I say this with a hesitation because I'm like, but if I say this and I tell you this, you might not want to join SEO school. And that's fine. I want people in SEO school that are ready to put in the work toward SEO because not many people do it. And there's a reason why many people don't do it. And people who have taken SEO school are probably nodding their heads. They know the type of work that goes into SEO, and they know that a lot of people don't do it because of the amount of work that goes into it. So when you're doing SEO, when you start to learn how to do SEO, it is a game changer because you are one of a few who are doing it and putting the effort in. And not to mention, if you take SEO school or if you learned SEO from someone else, I know I'm talking about SEO school because I think it is the best place to learn how to do SEO. And it is broken down in a way that movement professionals can immediately apply it. But if you chose to learn SEO elsewhere, you don't have to pay someone to do it, right? So if you learn how to do it yourself, you don't have to fork out money for a monthly SEO retainer if you decide that you like it and you can do it yourself, which is huge. So not many people are doing it in general, right? And if you are doing it, a lot of people will decide hey, I can't afford to hire this out, and then they'll stop. So not many people are doing it in general. And it's really, really important to understand, if you start to do it, it can be very, very easy to see results just because you are in such a small pool. My third thing is that people Google things every single day. You have probably Googled something in the last week. You will probably Google something today. People are always Googling things. So when we talk about SEO, the whole point is to get found on Google. So if we can get our name, our business name attached to a specific concept or a specific service that we provide, we could be coming up in these searches. And that's one of the biggest things that we have to understand is that's what we're doing. We are making sure that we're attaching our business, our name with a specific service that we offer so that we have the potential to come up for Google searches that people are already making. That's why you should care about that, right? The next thing, you don't have to rely solely on social media and word of mouth marketing. And this is twofold. So the first thing is that if you're relying on social media, that content is rarely evergreen, if ever. People are not scrolling back years into your posts to learn something. I have had people say I scrolled back until, 2017 and yada, yada. People just aren't doing that. You're not getting found that way organically. If someone wants to dive in, cool, but that's not something that's typically happening. But if you were to publish content on your website, like a blog, or even if you were to do a YouTube video and put that on your website as a blog, that can get found years later. And I have a lot of clients who actually say, a blog from 2012 just went viral and people are coming to my website because of that blog. It's very realistic that can happen. So you don't have to rely solely on social media, which is great, right? And your content becomes evergreen. It's just a chance for your content to be seen again and again and again. And the other thing is you don't have to rely on word of mouth marketing. So I will die on the hill that word of mouth marketing is the best form of marketing. It is the gold standard. I would never say different. And I think that people who say that SEO is better than word of mouth marketing are just kind of lost in the sense of they want people to care about SEO. And that's why they're saying that, because when we talk about SEO, the first thing that I would teach you in SEO school is that Google reviews are really important because it is almost as valuable as someone telling someone, hey, you should go here. So word of mouth marketing is still better. And I will always say that word of mouth marketing is the gold standard. But you will reach people if you focus on SEO that you never would have reached otherwise. And the example I like to use here is with pelvic health physical therapy. So people, if you have a sensitive niche in general, or something that people don't often talk about in conversation, so let's just talk about pelvic pain, for instance, people may not be telling their friends, their family, whoever, that they have pelvic pain, but they're certainly Googling it and they're probably trying to find a solution online. So if you are able to attach what you do and that specific keyword, that sensitive keyword, sensitive niche, then you have the potential to reach someone that you may not have reached otherwise simply because they're not talking and getting referrals to your practice, right? Because they might not tell their friend Susie that they have pelvic pain, but they're Googling it. So you will reach people that you would not have reached otherwise. And that means that you don't have to rely solely on word of mouth marketing. The other thing is that if you're getting found organically via Google, this literally means that your website works when you're sleeping. Now, we have to think about that as far as when we're sleeping, quote unquote. I also want to add while you're working and while you're with a patient. You don't have to be active all of the time. And if we're talking about arms of our marketing, this will feed into our word of mouth marketing. So one of our arms can be word of mouth, and the other arm could be, let's just say we're handing out pamphlets or we're doing workshops, our feet are on the pavement, but another arm can be SEO. So word of mouth marketing and SEO go hand in hand in that they are both able to work while we're not actively working. So we do have to front load. We have to put energy in the beginning. But then once we put that energy in, we know how to do it. We set it up. We can just keep swimming as far as doing all the things that you need to do for updates and content and whatever it may be. But that then works without us working on it, right? So we don't have to go talk to Susan, who's a hairdresser down the road, and tell her about our PT practice. We can just have the existence online, and then people who may be with Susan can find us organically or on Google when they Google something. So I recognize this is a very fast way to tell you hey, you should care about SEO. But these are the biggest things, right? It is the next best step for word of mouth marketing, especially for a brick and mortar practice. And in SEO school, we go over much more than just, I think people think it's tech. It's not just tech. It's more or less content creation and how to create content online to serve your population, your community, your ideal client in order to get found on Google. And we'll talk next week about the timeline of that. So we'll talk about how long does it take? What does it matter? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I start now? And that episode will release on Monday, the day that the waitlist opens for registration. So again, let's just break it up. I'll go through the points that I just made, and then I will wrap it up. So why should you care about SEO? It is free. Not many people do it. Most people are Googling things every single day, especially answers to their specific problems. It means that you don't have to rely on social media for all of your marketing efforts, and you don't have to rely solely on word of mouth marketing, because SEO is essentially an arm of your business, an arm of your marketing plan that can work while you are working or you are sleeping, etc. So that's all I've got for you today. And that is the baseline concept of why you should care about SEO. Once again, the waitlist for SEO school is in my bio. Make sure you're on that if you are even remotely interested, because then you will get access to the sales page, the discounts, the bonuses, all the things. Yeah, that's all I got for you. I will once again be talking about the timeline of SEO next week, the day the waitlist opens. So stay tuned for that if you are interested. But otherwise, Thank you so much for listening. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I will catch you next week.